Hey, so this is my most favorite soup ever. Spring tonic. I've got all this great fresh nettles. So we're gonna make spring tonic nettle soup. So let's just get right to it. So first, let me just tell you the ingredients, okay? We're gonna use 4 cups of freshly chopped nettles, chopped fresh nettles. I'm gonna use 1/2, I don't use a whole bunch of, like when you buy it at a store, it comes in a bunch. I usually use a 1/2 bunch of asparagus. Then I use 1/4 to 1/2 cup of mushrooms. It can be any kind of mushrooms. These are shiitake, but whatever mushrooms you want. I use 1 scallion, 1/2 teaspoon of coriander, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and then I use 2 tablespoons of miso. It can be any kind of miso you want. I love South River. I love all of their misos. You can just try whatever kind of miso paste you want. And then I do a 1/2 cup or 1/2 avocado, and then 4 cups of liquid. And so here I have almost 2 cups of broth and 2 cups of water. So I'm going to use 2 cups of broth. It can be any kind of broth. This is homemade bone broth. It's actually my medicine broth. If you look in CammieMcBride.com, in my blogs, you can put a medicine broth in the search bar. I have a really good recipe for that. So I'm going to use 1/2 bone broth and 1/2 water for the liquid. Okay, so let's get, and then I always love to decorate my soup with fresh edible flowers. So let's get started. Okay, so in a pot, I have about 1/4 cup of water put in here. And here is my chopped asparagus, mushroom, and scallion, and it comes to about 2 cups. So you can change this recipe. You can actually use whatever vegetable you like, whatever mushroom you like, whatever kind of onion you like, but it's about a total of 2 cups. So I'm gonna put that 2 cups into this water. I'm gonna turn the heat on medium high, and I'm gonna get that going. Just start sauteing that down. Okay, then I'm gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of coriander. I don't put a lot of spice in this soup because I just really love the flavor of the nettles, but I put just a little bit of coriander, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, just because I love coriander and cumin. And you just turn that on and get that going, Okay, so then we're gonna add 4 cups of nettles, okay? So let me show you how I chop my nettles. So you can chop your nettles with a knife, but what I do is I just hold it over a bowl, and just cut them, okay? That way you don't have to touch them. Now, if you don't have fresh nettles, maybe this will inspire you to find a patch to tend. I don't use these rough stems in the soup, just mostly the leaf and the tender stems. And then I just come through here and just chop it. I don't need that thick stem. So yeah, maybe if you can find a patch of nettles to tend. Sometimes you can find them at the farmer's market. You can get a plant or some seeds and start growing it. It likes loamy soil and some partial shade. And yeah, nettles they're super high in, it's a superfood. It's high in minerals, magnesium, calcium, potassium, manganese, iron, and amino acids. It's an incredible nutritive food. Gives you a diversity of nutrition beyond what you have in your vegetable box. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I've already chopped some for you. So I've got 4 cups here. 4 cups of chopped nettles, okay? And so yeah, this if you don't have nettles, you could use chard or kale or spinach instead. But I want to show you how to make nettle soup. You know, nettles are really, they're ripe once a year, you know? It's wherever, it depends on where you live. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put some more water in here. The total liquid that I will have at the end will be 2 cups of water and 2 cups of broth. Okay, so now I am just gonna stir this until I'm gonna saute this, it's on high now, for about 5 minutes, okay? So we're just gonna saute this in water for about 5 minutes until everything just gets nice and cooked. Okay, so I've got everything all about 5 minutes saute, and you want to cook your nettles down, because if you've ever fallen into or brushed up against a patch of nettles, you know they have a sting. But once you cook your nettles, the sting is inactivated, okay? And nettles is one of the most safe herbs. If you start drinking a ton of tea all the time, it can be a little bit drying, but in a food like this, it's just so nourishing, so full of vitamins, minerals, protein. It's one of the best foods. And this soup really takes 10 minutes to make. Okay, so we're gonna put all that into whatever blender you wanna use. You can use a Vitamix, I'm using a Cuisinart, 2 tablespoons of miso, and my avocado. You don't have to add the avocado, but it makes it nice. And then we're gonna add in the rest of our liquid. Okay. And now we are going to blend. Ready? Oh yeah, looking so good. Okay. I'm gonna take this over the sink and pour it over the sink. Look at that. It's like a blood transfusion. You know, human blood is one molecule different from the green in plants. So the chlorophyll is one molecule different than human blood. And so you're just feeding your blood iron, building your blood. It's great for your kidneys, your urinary tract system. Nettles is considered an alterative. Because of its nutrient density, it just makes you feel better. So, you ready for some nettle soup? Enjoy.